Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Planet Marzipan, the Fish and Marillion podcast. I'm Meza, and here's my mate.
Craig Houston.
Hello, welcome to Planet Marzipan. I'm Meza. I'm here with my good friend.
Craig. Actually, I shouldn't say Craig, because Dobby.
It's your catchphrase now.
I know, but Dobby's done a picture with a plane with Craig on it.
Okay. We have lots of friends with lots of guests with us today. We welcome back to the podcast Lucy Jordache.
Hi.
It's post-convention. There's Lucy. And we welcome back Gary Page.
Hello everybody.
Hi, Gary. And then we've got three newbies on the pod for you today. We welcome Steve Guttridge.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Steve. We welcome John Ferrand.
Good evening, all.
Hi, John. You okay?
Yeah,
And we
not bad. Thanks, not
welcome
bad.
Stuart Chandler as well.
Oh, hello.
Oh, we shall refer to him as user today.
On the screen, he just appears as user. We're here to talk about the Leicester weekend that's just gone, but just so that the listeners can get a brief bit of background on you. Steve, how long have you been a fan of Marillion?
I first started listening in 1985, Misplaced Childhood. My best friend got the cassette out of the library in Leicester, and we listened to it all summer, and the tape was completely knackered by the time the summer finished.
And you've been to Leicester weekend before, haven't you?
A few times. My parents live there, so I go usually.
Great. John, how long have you been a fan?
Probably since the Cayley days, although first time I saw them was when they supported Quo at the Milton Keynes Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Way back when. And then I was, unfortunately, I rediscovered them, shall we say, by watching the Sky Arts showing of the Albert Hall. Yes.
How long were you
Lovely perks
Fan
up.
since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long was the gap,
yeah.
John?
Probably 87 till what year did An Hour Before It's Dark come out? 2 years ago?
22.
Wow.
Yeah, so probably 21.
Brilliant.
Oh,
quite a
see,
few
I
years.
love that.
Yeah.
You're about the third person I know who watched that on Sky Arts and has got
Yeah.
interested in the band. So it just shows if bloody media gave us any coverage at all, people might. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's nodding by
Yeah.
the way, listeners. Then people might discover us, especially
Well,
visually.
On the Marillion and fans Facebook page, somebody did actually ask that question, and I put the story down, and Lucy, you did actually reply and say that's a wonderful story.
Did I see?
Yeah, certainly did.
And now I'm saying it to your face.
Now you're doing it again.
Exactly. But it really excites me because, you push really hard to get these things licensed. They don't license them for much money, I hasten to add, but you do it for the exposure, and it's so great when it works. Woohoo! Thank you. I'm going. Good night. Bye.
No, stay. Stuart, how long have you been a fan?
Probably like everybody else since probably about 40 years ago. So about 84, got a tape from my library, which was Script in Egham in Surrey. And I was a big fan and all the way through until I went to see him in 87 at Wembley Arena.
Mm.
And then I sort of lost touch at the end of the 80s and went into indie rock land, and then emerged again probably about 2012, and Sounds That Can't Be Made.
Oh, brilliant.
Wow. Another great story. I just tend to think no one's discovered the band since the 80s. You know what I mean? It's just so great when you hear from people that have discovered them recently. It's just, or rediscovered them. It's brilliant.
And Stuart, it was your first. Sorry, John, I should have asked you this as well. Stuart, it was your first Leicester weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It was basically, I haven't gone to any sort of many live events for quite a while, but once I sort of started re-emerging, as it were, it was I went to 2 Steve H. Natural shows, 2 years in a trot, and Steve Rothery last year, and I thought I've got to go to the Leicester weekend because I've read so much about it, you know, and loved it.
Well, we should come on to that very shortly. Don, have you been to Leicester before?
That was actually my second weekend.
Okay.
I did the one 2 years ago. Immediately bought the ticket straight after the King George's Hall show in Blackburn.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So yeah.
And Gary, I know you've been on quite a bit, but you've been to Leicester before as well with us, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been to Leicester before a few times, Wolves before that. I got into the band. I saw this band on the Chart Show in 1991. Obviously, I'm a bit younger than, no disrespect.
All right, steady now.
Now.
So yeah, I saw the Cover My Eyes on the Chart Show, and it just blew me away. I went out and I got the cassette single, bought Holidays in Eden, and they seemed to have been they were on telly all summer. They were on like TVAM, Motormouth, all the kids shows I used to watch at that time. I think they were promoting Dry Land with the Gloves.
Yeah.
And like Craig, he was at the 1992 Wembley gig. That was my first time I saw the band for the 10th anniversary, even though it was my first gig. And I loved them ever since. Seen them on every tour since, even though I kind of got into it like others got into indie music, but Blur, Super Furry Animals, Teenage Fan Club, they're all my favourite bands, but Marillion have been a constant. No matter what I've listened to over the last 34 years, they're just there, and I've been to every tour and just...
Blur are my second favourite band.
I knew that, Lucy.
Sometimes my first. Just
they're
don't tell you.
Modern Life is Rubbish is one of my favourite albums of all time.
Perfect.
So. Marillion are an outlier in my collection. I'm not a progger.
Me too. I like Gary. Invite him back always.
Well, he comes quite regularly, but we're not getting into prog and not prog.
No, okay.
Nobody said the word Supertramp at all. No.
Super Furry Animals, are they prog? No.
Anyway, we are here to talk about the weekend that has just passed as we're recording. So the Leicester Marillion Weekend 2025. Back to the fabulous De Montfort Hall.
It's a lovely venue, though, isn't it?
Great venue.
It really is.
It's just the staff are fabulous. The people we deal with when booking it are fabulous. We've been paid already. Well, they sent the money today.
Wow.
Whereas it took me 2 months to get paid from Canada. We only got the money last week from the Montreal gig. We haven't been paid for Italy yet. You know, it's like they're just so lovely. Love the De Montfort. Love.
I mean, it's absolutely immaculate as well inside. I mean, it's really well kept, and the auditorium's beautiful. The sound in there is fantastic. The whole ambience and everything. It's just absolutely ideal for us bunch of louts.
Yeah. Do we think that's because it's run by the council rather than run by O2 or something? Yeah.
Yes.
Are there many other venues like that around the country?
Sadly, not enough. I've decided, or I'm going to try, I've decided to make it my mission to hunt out venues that are run by councils, because although they have sort of, they do have the odd strict health and safety thing that maybe others don't because they're council run, they're just so much better value, and they're not up their own arses, I think is the word I'm looking for. Whereas the O2 venues are very much we do music all the time, this is how we do it, and they're just lovely. There was a chap I was talking to at the Leicester weekend. Oh God, I hope he's listening, because maybe he can tell me where it was. He told me somewhere it was Halifax or somewhere like that. It was somewhere up north. And they said,
was it Holmfirth?
Not that far up north.
Well, it's near Halifax. It's Holmfirth.
Oh, is it? I thought
Yes.
that's Scotland. I don't know where I'm.
No, no.
But he
It's
said
last
that
summer wine, isn't
he said that their venue is run by the council. It's 2,500 capacity or something, and doesn't charge a concession of 25% for the merchandise. And I said, that sounds brilliant. Made a note of it in my head, and then it went straight out my head. But that's
I'm wondering if he means the picture drone at Holmfirth, but I'm not sure.
No, that's a lot
big.
smaller.
Not
Yeah,
that big.
it's a lot smaller.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
no, it's not
I'm
that
sure
big.
I'll find him. I'm sure he'll send me a message or something, because I think I did say send me a message, because I'll forget.
Yeah,
and promptly forgot.
but the bar on certainly the bar, there's a real ale bar on the right hand side, and then there's a bigger bar on the left hand side that opens out onto a piece of grass with benches and seats, and you had a food truck there as well, didn't you?
They got it straight away, because obviously we used to do it at Wolverhampton before that shut for refurbishment, and we went to talk to them at Leicester, and they got the concept straight away. We said we want our fans to not be thrown out the I know you're kind of thrown out the main venue, but thrown out the venue. We want everyone to be able to mingle and drink and talk, because this is the whole point of a Marillion weekend. We'd like the foyer open so people can just come in and get the charity stall or buy merchandise or whatever, and and we want people to have a wristband and that's for the whole weekend. Whereas lots of the other venues in Europe, especially the ones run by AEG or that, they have to scan the ticket every day. So the wristband is just kind of decorative rather than useful. Yeah. And so Leicester got it straight away, which is another reason that we really like it there as well. And the band love the sound on the stage, and in the room, it's a good stage for them.
Just to back up what you were saying about the fans being in the bar, I think we left about 10 to 1, Craig, didn't we? After the
well, usually some of the last ones chucked out.
Yeah. I think we were locking up actually with that late out.
Well, didn't we? It was about 12 o'clock, and this lovely lady came over and said, and we were expecting her to say, "Oh, you're gonna have to leave now." And she was like, "Just so you know, you can get another drink in if you want. We're open till 12:30." It's like this is paradise.
You're going to say something there, Stuart?
I was just saying the sound. Yeah, Lucy's right. The sound in the room is incredible.
Except for if you're right at the back underneath the balcony, it can be a bit muffled, but try not to stand there is what I say.
Okay.
It's a nice wide stage as well, so you can get near the front quite easily if you want to.
Well, we undersell, going back to the ethos, even though there was a little bit of a furore on Facebook this week with someone accusing me of making Marillion a cash cow and that all we want is people's money.
Yeah, right.
Enough said about that, the better. But for example, I sell 150 less tickets than I'm legally allowed to sell because I want everyone to have space and a good view. Yeah. So that's 10 grand's worth of money.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to the person that actually said that about me, do you want to give me 10 grand? Thank you very much.
I mean, when we went to see Fish on his last 2 dates up in Glasgow, that was pretty much oversold because you couldn't move in there, and you had to breathe in. I mean, we were glad that we
stand it.
Yeah, we were glad that we were sitting upstairs on it, because you look downstairs and you saw people having trouble getting to the toilets and to get.
I did it for Paris as well. Paris, they told me, I don't know what it was. They said I could sell 2,100 or something, and I only sold 2,000 because, and that really was rammed. I did it at the Roundhouse. Do you remember how crowded the Roundhouse?
Yeah, it was absolutely.
Yeah. I was allowed another 200 spaces.
No,
where would they have gone? I know.
Exactly
on
my
people's
point.
shoulders.
And I refused to do it. I absolutely refuse to do it, because if I piss off all those people, they're never going to come to a Marillion concert. So you balance the loss of the money you could make against the enjoyment for the fans.
Yes.
Yeah, I was at the Roundhouse, and I was at the back between a couple of the pillars, couldn't move at the back. And then in full contrast, Saturday and Sunday, I was actually thinking, is this sold out? Because there was that much space, and you've just explained the reason for it.
Yeah, and I apologise about the round.
That's just fantastic way to think and thing to do.
I do apologise about the Roundhouse. As I said, you know, I'd not been to I'd been to see Robbie Williams there, and that was absolutely rammed to the hilt. So I knew I wanted to take it down, but I wasn't that familiar with it. So I took off 200 tickets, but obviously should have taken off more.
I think the Roundhouse, from talking to people and from us, we were stood a bit further forward. So if you were further forward, it wasn't quite as jam packed. I think the issue was they were quite slow to get people in, so everybody came at the same time, and they were all in the back of the venue.
It's a weird venue.
It wasn't as crammed in other places.
And also they measure teenage girls to how many people are allowed in the room. No disrespect to slightly larger Marillion fans.
You said we're all fat, aren't you?
No.
Yeah.
No, surely not.
The other thing to say about the UK weekend, because before we get into the Marillion gigs, there were 7 tribute band gigs over the weekend as well. And one of the reasons we invited Steve on here is we challenged Andrew Barnsley Wood to attend them all, and he didn't manage it.
Yeah, he was too short.
He was too short. But Steve did actually get to see all the other tribute bands across the weekend, didn't you, Steve?
I did. I saw everybody except for Maria on the harp.
Yes. I think that deserves a round of applause. Sterling work.
Yeah, so that was
a shake of the head saying that you're mad.
Yeah, so that was 2 Mr. Punches, 2 Still Marillions, Glass Satellites, Marquee Square Heroes.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
3 was 3 Mr. Punches.
Yeah, but Steve did 2 of them. I mean, you can't knock points off for that, can you?
The third one clashed with Glass Satellites, so I had to choose between those.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
So you did the Friday night Mr. Punch?
I did Friday night Mr. Punch, Saturday morning Mr. Punch, Saturday afternoon Still Marillion, Saturday late afternoon there's a Meatloaf tribute act in the Loaded Dog, if you're going to include that one. Cutting Crew and Marillion, and then Sunday Glass Satellites, Still Marillion, and Marquee Square Heroes.
Okay.
And I've managed to get back in time for the Q&A.
How do you do all that without dying?
Good question. I nearly did on the first day, but we won't just talk about that one.
Yes, yeah. We'll mention that off pod, Steve. Yes, but you're looking well now.
Yeah.
So briefly, what was your view on Mr. Punch, the two gigs that you saw?
I've seen Mr. Punch quite a lot because I live in London. They played London quite frequently, at least once a year or so. So I've seen them 10, 12 times, something like that. Absolutely love the guitarist, Marcella. I think she's fantastic. Yeah. And the difference with Mr. Punch from the other tribute acts is the singer, Marco. He does the face paint and a bit of theatrics and that sort of thing. So it's not an impersonation of Fish, not that at all, but it is a bit more in that style. And if you get a really good audience, as they really do, it's quite exhilarating the way they perform. Completely different from Marquee Square Heroes or Still Marillion, for example.
Yeah. And a number of us saw Still Marillion over the weekend, didn't we?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the nearest I'll ever get to seeing the Fish here in Marillion.
Yeah. You've seen them before, Gary, haven't you?
Yeah, we went to that other venue. I can't remember what it was called in Leicester.
Too Funky.
Yeah. But I took my cousin. My cousin came to his first Marillion weekend, and he's been a fan as long as I have, and kind of, like other people, kind of drifted away, but came back for, I think it was Happiness is the Road. And we've never seen the Fish here in Marillion before, so it's just Martin, his voice on the Sunday was incredible. And I was just saying to Roger, my cousin, how obviously Marillion obviously get compared to Genesis so often, but it's not until you kind of hear those songs how economical those songs are. There's no fat on them really. Like, I mean, Grendel is a kind of
bit of an outlier,
beast, but those songs that they played on the Sunday, especially, they're just lean and it's guitar, bass, drum, keyboard, vocals. And it's just, and it's not until you see it, because I never saw that era, how kind of concise they are really, and it kind of brought it home to me. I thought seeing them.
Yeah, Still Marillion, they're really tight as well. Excellent musicians.
Oh,
you won't hear
music
you won't hear anybody else play that music better.
John, what did you make of them?
I thought they were excellent, to be honest with you. I only managed to see them on the Saturday, but I have seen them quite a few times in the past. I saw them at the 11 Club a couple of weeks ago before the
Stoke, yeah.
In Stoke, yeah. That's a good venue, Lucy. Well, it's probably a little bit too small for Marillion, shall we say?
Well, how small?
Probably about 500.
Too small.
Could do a couple of secret gigs, I suppose. But yeah, I completely agree with what Gary's just said. The musicianship for Still Marillion is second to none for any tribute band I've ever seen. They are superb. Yeah. Mark on the guitar, wow. Yeah.
And Stuart on the keytar as well.
Yeah. Stuart on the keytar as well, yeah.
Yeah, I was bigging them up, bless them.
I mean, the set list, the Still Marillion mixed the set list up across the 2 days. We did get all of Misplaced, which I think didn't, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Mr. Punch play all of Misplaced on Friday?
They did, yeah.
Yeah. But one of the things that Still Marillion did do that I don't think any of the other bands did is they took a crack at one of the unreleased demos from the Clutching at Straws bonus disc. They had a go at Beaujolais Day.
Yeah, that's right, on the Sunday, yeah.
Which really cleverly morphed into Season's End at the end, didn't it?
Mm. Yeah, I didn't spot the point at which it changed. 1 minute I was listening to Beaujolais Day, and the next minute I'm thinking, hang on a minute, this is Season's End, isn't it? Just do a finishing. And I thought, I don't remember it changing.
We went over and saw him sound check. It's just, I don't know how Martin sings the melody for Beaujolais Day, because to me it's still Season's End. It really messes with my head, but I thought it was a cracking version.
And then his absolute stonking version of Runaway as well, which was just brilliant.
I think for me, that's what I like about the Still Marillion gigs at Marillion Weekend, is they try and do something a little different from what they normally do, which is usually a few H era songs.
Yeah, well, of course, on the Sunday they did 2 Fish solo songs as well, didn't they? Cliche and Gentleman's Excuse Me, just piano.
Yeah,
that was amazing,
brilliant. And then Steve, you went along, saw Glass Satellites on the Sunday lunchtime as well. That was their first gig, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. They were playing in the Too Funky Music Cafe.
Yeah.
So you went to that as well, Gary, didn't you? Did you go to Glass Satellites or not?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
it didn't.
I couldn't remember whether you did or not.
I saw Supergrass on Thursday, and it was my 4 gigs in 4 days. Richard Dawson on Friday. If you've never heard him, he's incredible. That was in Brighton though, and then I hot-footed it up to Leicester. So no, I just had Still Marillion on Saturday.
Yeah. Did you go, Stuart, or not?
To Still Marillion?
No, to Glass.
No, they didn't.
Couldn't remember who went the way.
Just Steve went. That's on the call.
Yeah. And for one thing, they put seats out, which by noon on Sunday, after the number of gigs I'd done, I was very thankful for.
Not surprised.
Yeah, but it's actually quite a nice venue. It's right size for a tribute act. Still Marillion played there a couple of years ago, didn't they?
Yeah, we saw it. We went there for Still Marillion. I mean, we've actually interviewed Rich Harding, so it'll be coming up later on. We interviewed Rich. We've interviewed Still Marillion, and Mark Colton from Marquee Square Heroes as well. But so what was Glass Satellites set like, Steve?
Obviously it's mostly H era stuff that they do. I mean, we can have a discussion about what you feel about H era tribute acts, because some people not keen on that idea while the band's still performing them, obviously. They did go to an effort to try and not play anything at all that the band were going to play, given that with the new set list from previous things. So that allayed some of my fears on that. But I thought Richie's voice was absolutely fantastic. He was amazing. At one point he did White Paper, and as I've written somewhere else, the crowd was absolutely silent. You could hear a pin drop during the whole of White Paper. It's not often you get that sort of amount of respect for a tribute act. Such was his voice. That was drop dead gorgeous. That was
brilliant.
And I've got the set list. I mean, open with Splintering Heart. I mean, other highlights. He did a bit of Bridge and Living with a Big Lie. This Town Rakes Progress trilogy. Accidental Man, which isn't a song we hear very often, is it, for the band to play? I think one of the only songs he did that the band also played was Crow and the Nightingale.
Yes.
Which he made a good effort of that, I thought, although as I knew we were going to get it from Marillion that evening, but I'm not sure whether that was a good idea or not, but it was good. But yeah, overall I was quite impressed. I'd go and see him again, definitely.
Yeah. As it was their first gig with this lineup. I mean, they did come from Splintering Heart, most of them, didn't they? But
yeah, he's had other lineups, I believe.
Yeah. And then Craig, myself, and Steve all caught Marquee Square Heroes on Sunday afternoon, and then had to. I don't know what time did you leave that, Steve? We had to leave to go and get something to eat to get back to De Montfort, so we didn't miss the Q&A.
I managed to get the whole thing.
Did you? Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Just about managed to grab a sandwich and run to the QA. Actually, I think I got a bus.
You got a bus? Oh, well, look at that. And then Marquee Square Heroes, Craig. What was your view on Steve and Craig? What was your view on their stuff?
I enjoyed them. I did. I really enjoyed them. And it's the first time I got to see them. It's just a shame I didn't get to see all the sets because the timing was just a bit rubbish with them not starting till about 4:30. So it didn't. Considering that me and John were running on fumes from having breakfast quite early on and no lunch, it was just a case needed fed and water, and had to get back to see Lucy do the Q&A with the band on stage.
Yeah, we were kind of lucky because Still Marillion actually finished 15 minutes earlier than we expected. I wasn't going to do Marquee Square Heroes. I was going to skip that one, but because Still Marillion finished 15 minutes earlier, they gave me time to get there.
Yeah.
And at that point, I thought, this is it. I'm going to do them all.
We were walking rather briskly from town, weren't we, the three of us? But yeah. But yeah, I don't think that happens anywhere else, does it? I think did Mr. Punch do something?
How do you mean?
I think they played in Italy.
Before. That's right. Yeah. But it's only in the UK that we get this sort of thing.
It's gone mental though. There's too many of them now.
Lucy, you've been absolutely amazing because I know you feel about this. So you've been very diplomatic.
Yeah, there was one missing. There's another band that
Celerion didn't come.
Yeah, Celerion, who based around Liverpool. They're really good. I saw they played on the same day as King George's Hall. Was it in Bradford? Not Bradford. No, not Burnley. Someone else beginning with B up that way.
Blackburn.
That's the one. Yeah, they played in Blackburn a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
it is incredible. My mate Dave, who Craig is a fan of, played a gig, and there was a poster up for I think it was Still Marillion or something, and he sent me a message specifically because none of them, my mates, are Marillion fans. They're like, "You never guess what, G? There's a Marillion tribute band playing at this venue I'm at," and I was like, "Mate, there's 5 of them." He nearly fell off his stool.
They're all good and they're all different. They all bring something different to the party.
Yeah,
I mean, so somebody asked me to choose between them. You can't. They're different.
Definitely.
But we are actually in Leicester for the main event.
I was going to say all of this
just periphery
to the real reason that we were there, doesn't it? Should we start with the Saturday Marillion gig? And we've got to mention Cutting Crew. I can't even say it. Cutting Crew.
Cutting Crew.
That's it.
Prog or not prog?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. That was a hell of a guitar solo. Yeah.
I mean, they went down an absolute storm. They did.
They did. I can't wait for Berlin now because they're bringing the whole band over, not just the trio. So that'll be fun in Berlin.
And he's going to learn Map of the World, I hear.
He's going to try, yeah. He was going to do it in Leicester and he didn't realise that H was still singing it in the original key. He said, I can't reach that high.
But yeah, any of you other guys, what did you think of Cutting Crew?
I think I was 11 when the big song came out, so it is seared on my brain from like now 7 or something. But I thought they were incredible. They live up the road to me. A lot of my work colleagues at school went to school with Nick. He's Crowborough, I think. Yeah. So I thought they were brilliant. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. Great. And as I've said before, I'm not a progger. So a lot of the sport bands I've been to gigs with you, John, and I'm like, I can't do it, mate.
All right, mate, steady.
Sorry, but
steady.
You know, it's just personal preference. But yeah, they're just to
stop it, Lucy. She's blowing Gary kisses. Stop it.
Just to see a really good pop band with a little bit of progressive leanings was right up my street.
Yeah, I remember the good old days of White Buffalo where we had the non-prog.
Yeah, they were great.
I loved White Buffalo.
Yeah, they're really good.
Strangely, so did I. They were brilliant.
Well, strangely brilliant.
No, but you know, you're all labeling me as Mr. Prog.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you are.
Told you worse.
I'm not pointing this towards any of this in here. It's all prog. It was, I thought the sound that the three of them made was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Incredible. And I think they were genuinely
helped the room.
Yeah. I think they were genuinely surprised by the reaction they got, weren't they?
I think that's true. But a lot of support acts who play with Marillion, that they're genuinely surprised that we all come in early and stand there and listen and give them our full attention and applaud at the end. Yeah. I've been to plenty of other gigs where the support act, you're lucky if there's 10 people and their dog in the audience.
And if there is, they're usually talking, aren't they?
Yeah, and you don't get that at Marillion. You get a bit more talking at the back. Well, that's understandable. But I've never been to other bands where the support acts are given so much respect.
It felt like their own gig, didn't it?
Yeah.
I kind of had to think, it's this Marillion.
Oh, they loved it. They were blown away by the response. They were really happy. Yeah. I hope they get the same in Berlin. I hope it wasn't just a British thing. I mean, it can't have just been a British thing because of all the different nationalities in the audience, but the majority of people are still British. So I hope it wasn't just a British response and Berlin, everyone sits there with their hands folded going, yeah, this is very good. Oh, that wasn't racist. I'm sorry. I love you, darling.
Maybe it's the lack of decent pubs near the De Montfort Hall which gets the audience in. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
John, you'll make plenty of noise in Berlin for him, won't you?
I certainly will. Certainly will. I'll hopefully catch him this time because bit of a story here. It was your fault.
It's my fault, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
He told me and Catherine we needed to go and get some food, so we ended up in the Chinese just around the corner.
No, Catherine said you hadn't had. This not really for the podcast. Catherine said you haven't had food. I said, well, there's a couple of Italians just around the corner.
Yeah.
And they missed Cutting Crew.
We got in for the one big song.
Perfect.
Me too. I have to be honest. After full disclosure, Lucy, I didn't see all of Cutting Crew either.
No, but what you saw, you enjoyed.
I did.
What matters.
But the reason that I didn't see it is because I was taking my vinyl back to the hotel room, so I didn't want to have it in the bar with me. The 2 vinyls that I bought from the merch. But anyway, that's
thank you for your purchase.
My sad life. Marillion, night 1 on the Saturday night. Open with Invisible Man.
Can I just have a bit of a whinge?
Oh. To the boss?
I don't know if I'm in the mood, so be careful.
Yeah, I say I just by the end of Saturday night I was almost spent, because when you've got a night when you've got 2 of your bloody favourite albums playing back to back pretty much, it's a bit like emotionally exhausting. Thank you very much. Because Afraid of Sunlight and Marbles and Brave are my 3 favourite albums. So when you've got Afraid of Sunlight and Marbles together, it's a bit like, whew. But I loved it. Thank you very much.
Why? Because obviously they are we allowed to give setlist spoilers away?
Yeah, we'll talk setlist.
Lucy may or may not know. Why did they decide to kind of go to a certain point with marbles and then chop it a little bit? I don't know. Yeah.
Because was that the first time that did we do that in Padua? Can anyone?
Yeah,
you did it in
Padua. Then Steve Rothery emailed everybody and said, how do you feel about mixing it up a bit rather than just doing marbles? And the band were kind of split into leave it how it is, and then the other half were going, we should mix it up. And then they brought me into the conversation, said, what did I think? And I said, I think you should mix it up a bit. And so that's what happened. And it was just because change is as good as the rest, I suppose. And some people will like it like that, and some people won't. But some people wouldn't necessarily like the whole of marbles, so you can't please them all.
No. I think talking to my cousin, we were it was like, well, they've committed like all this way to, I think, was it The Damage or
don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself. And then it wasn't kind of split up before that, which I mean, it was still brilliant.
No, personally, if it was me, and I did try, I would have completely mixed it up.
Yeah, that's what.
From Invisible Man to Cannibal Surf Babe to, well, maybe not that, but you know what I mean. I would completely. But they didn't want to do that. They just wanted to swap out a couple of Marble songs for a couple of Afraid of Sunlight songs or whatever. So, and at the end of the day, it's their decision.
Yeah, maybe it's easier with the programming and all the gubbins. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with mixing it up. I mean, several of us do go to more than one weekend. I don't really want to hear exactly the same thing again.
Exactly. That was kind of my feeling on it, that might make it more interesting for people. But everyone's got a valid point.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would
interested as well.
I would probably have dropped Ocean Cloud just because of its length. If that then allows you to get 2 or 3 of the other marbles ones in instead.
We're jumping ahead here, guys. We haven't really talked about what the set list is, have we? But great start with Invisible Man. There was then a bit of a jam, wasn't there? Because was H getting changed?
Yes, he has to get out of his man uniform.
Yeah. So there's a bit of a jam, and then from there it went into Marbles 1. I have to say, I was absolutely bowled over by H's voice all weekend. I think clearly the rest that he's getting between the 2 weekends and then just playing 2 nights on the bounce is really, really paying off. He sounded absolutely amazing. Those points where on previous weekends his voice is broken, there was none of that. It was so powerful, so clear. The enunciation on Fantastic Place was amazing. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's definitely sorry.
What are you laughing at?
The enunciation.
Well, he doesn't always sing Fantastic Place.
Take me to the room.
He doesn't always sing it. He mumbles it sometimes when he's tired.
Slurs his words a bit. Yeah.
No, it's incredible that his voice is still where it is. And as I've got a 7.5-year-old son who sings Dry Land now, much to my wife's annoyance. I just want him, mate. I said you'll go when you're old enough. I just want them to hang on, and so hang on, until Thomas is old enough. But yeah, his voice was superb.
Yeah, it was superb.
Yeah, it was. And then we went into Genie, which that run of Genie, Fantastic Place, Only Unforgivable Thing, all sounded absolutely amazing, I've got to say.
I loved it. But it's marbles, so.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, Genie actually had the lad that I was with actually had him in tears.
Did it?
I thought it was just incredible. Yeah. I saved my tears for the Sunday night.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, we went into Marbles 2, and then, as Steve's mentioned, Ocean Cloud got an airing. Progtastic as it is.
I I actually like it. It's weird that like I love that song and I love This Strange Engine, which goes against all my kind of
your indie
chat earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's beautiful. It's the melody, isn't it? Just the chorus melody is just absolutely like, yeah, one of his best, I think.
I have to say the Saturday night just flew by for me. It, you know, when they went off after King, it was like, that's only half an hour. What they're doing, but it clearly wasn't. Stuart, what do you make of it?
I love marbles anyway, and it was just everything I wanted. Really, it was you know, up until where we are, it's just incredible. And as you say, you know, his voice and everything was together for me.
Definitely.
Again, I may have had 1 or 2 drinks on Saturday night, but
yes, you had.
Yeah, those 2-pint pots in De Montfort were very welcome. Said going back to the bar. I had a moment of what H has brought to the band just kind of hit me on the Saturday night. Maybe it's because we'd done Still Marillion and I was thinking about the Fish era compared to the H era, but if he'd not have arrived, we wouldn't be talking about this, I don't think.
I wouldn't be here.
No, well, you would be. None of us would be here.
I forgot to say actually about I put it on Facebook, I think, about going back to Invisible Man. There was one bit, and I can't remember which bit it was, but I've never had it before, where like the hair on the top of my head, all the way back to my bum, kind of just
to your bum.
Well, down my back, just stood up like this weird kind of like sense.
Told you to put clothes on, Gary, at a gig, not stand there butt naked.
Just felt this kind of glow when I don't know, I can't remember what bit it was, but it just made me like, wow.
Made your ass hairs tingle.
And that's
what proposed to Lucy.
And that's why I'm still here.
Music to make your arse hairs tingle. Yeah. My new strap line, I shall use it immediately.
You can market some shorts, couldn't you?
Stop it. Yes, cash cow. That's all I am.
Sorry about
that. And then we got into the second half with The Damage and Don't Hurt Yourself.
Can me and you have a fight now with Ocean Cloud?
Who?
Me and you.
Fight all you want.
Because it's because you're the prog head and you're the one who's not a fan of Ocean Cloud.
Not the second half, no.
And I'm the non-prog head and I love Ocean Cloud.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. I think everyone knows that. But in Padua, I absolutely loved it. Just Padua, nowhere else. But I absolutely loved it in Padua for no reason at all. I was just like, oh, bloody hell, this is marvellous. But I was back again to...
I think that's what's so unique about them. And it's something I can't really tell my friends that aren't fans. You'll go through like periods of songs will like resonate and then they won't resonate and then they will again. And it's just kind of...
Well, that was the only time ever.
Yeah, well, it will again.
That sounds like a challenge to the band, Lucy, doesn't it?
No, carry on.
All right. And then we actually got a very short snippet of You're Gone, which we shouldn't have got. And then we got Cannibal Surf Babe, which you may have.
I like it.
I love it, but it seemed a bit jarring in the middle of Marvel. I thought. It was only a sequencing problem.
It's always been a grower for me, Cannibal Surf Babe. I'm a bit of a little bit of a metalhead, Rammstein, Nightwish, that kind of stuff.
Makes total sense then.
And Cannibal Surf Babe is probably one of the rockiest songs that they do, and it didn't really fit in with Marillion, really, for me.
It didn't fit in on the Afraid of Sunlight album, did it?
No.
I always loved it on there for no apparent reason, but I know it didn't fit. So maybe putting it anywhere in the set wouldn't fit. Maybe it wasn't that it jarred Marbles for you, Steve. Maybe it was just that it just jars wherever it is. You know what I mean?
I love the song. I mean, every time I listen to it now, my mind goes back to Port Zealand a few years ago when you had that amazing video for it, the band on the screen. That absolutely brought the house down when that happened, and I can't listen to it now without thinking about that moment. So I do love it.
It's got some of the best lyrical bits. Born in 1960, Weird. I love.
Yeah.
I've always thought of Cannibal Surf Babe as one of the great potential lost singles, because it was supposed to be the second single on Afraid of Sunlight. And I keep thinking back to what happened to TerrorVision, because they were in the process of being dropped by EMI. Then they released Tequila.
Yeah.
That went mad for them. And
they got dropped.
They got dropped. It didn't stop them getting dropped by EMI, but it was the biggest hit single.
Yeah.
And this could have done as a crossover, you know, could have been a crossover single in '95 for them. But
I don't think it could have done. I don't think it's good enough.
The problem is it's the sort of thing that could have done amazing, and a load of people then come along and listen to the other stuff by the band and thought, hang on,
what the hell was this?
Well, that's exactly what Tequila is. TerrorVision's
But that's
Tequila's nothing like TerrorVision, is it?
That's exactly what happened with Kaylee.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of people that, you know, since I've worked for Marillion, the amount of people who've said, oh yeah, I had that album. It was the Coffee Table album, like Dido's White Flag or Brothers in Arms, Dire Straits. Everybody bought it, but it had one single off it that wasn't representative of the rest of the album, in my opinion. So Cannibal Surf Babe would not have done anything for Marillion.
Yeah, but how many of us wouldn't be here now if it hadn't been for Kaylee? I wouldn't be.
No, I would be.
Even though I don't particularly like it. No.
I would be.
I would be.
Fair enough.
Predate all that.
Yeah. That's because we're old, John, though I'm not as old as you.
Nobody's as old as me, Lucy. I found that out over the weekend, yeah.
Is that true?
No.
Are you the oldest on the screen?
On the screen, yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
And I've got the light on as well. I'm not sat in the dark like some of these folks. Look, hiding it. Back to Marbles then with You're Gone, which was a great version and really brought after Cannibal Surf Babe, the tempo was up anyway. And then a big finish with King.
And it wasn't it wasn't the loudest version they've ever done of it either. So I think it was corking, but it didn't go and take the roof off.
And the first encore was Sugar Mice and Man of a Thousand Faces, which is a bit of a switch round from previous weekends, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think Man of a Thousand Faces was played on the Sunday elsewhere.
I never get tired of it. I know some people might get tired of that song, but I love that. I love Man of a Thousand Faces. I think it's a lovely song. Yeah. From one of This Strange Ending is one of my favorite albums. So it's.
I was standing on the side of the stage with one of Cutting Crew, whose name I can't remember. One that's not Nick.
Okay.
Or one. Gosh, Gareth, isn't it? Yeah. I was standing on the side of the stage with Gareth, and he was word perfect on Man of a Thousand Faces. And I said to him afterwards, I said, oh my God, how do you know that song? He said, because I'm a fan. Well, I didn't know. The two of us were dancing at the side of the stage. That bloody love that song.
It was good because Sugar Mice and Thousand Faces together are both sing-along songs, aren't they? The crowd both get involved in those. So certainly the end, anyway.
Well, there's six of you on screen apart from me. So how divided are you in whether the crowd should sing along or not? Because I saw a couple of people complain that they go to pay hear H sing, not the crowd. What is your feeling, please?
Are you talking about him when he doesn't sing?
I like all the sing-along songs. I mean, I cannot sing, and so I do the person in front of me a favour by moving my mouth and not actually saying anything. But I like having a go.
I like sing-alongs. The only thing is, one of these days, I would like for once to actually have H to sing all of Sugar Mice. It's never happened before.
I don't have an issue with it.
Has he never sung the whole thing ever?
Yes,
ever.
He has. Yes,
ever.
He has.
Not ever.
He has.
Ever. You go back to any live version of it. He's never sung the whole song.
Ever.
I'll challenge you.
Find out, ask all the archivists whether that's true. If
James will let us know.
Yeah,
I like it. It's worth it.
We'll make that a challenge, and we'll get him to do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
I like it. It's worth it for the band's reaction when we do all sing.
I love it. I love it. And the smile on their faces, especially H, because like Ian can't hear anything the audience are doing, and so he doesn't really know what's going on. Maybe that's a different conversation, but whatever. H's genuine smile when you're all singing to him, I tell you, because I'm not on the stage, but I'm usually at the side of the stage, and the noise that comes out when you lot are singing, it's just like, it's fabulous.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have an issue with it.
We all love a sing along,
especially at the weekend. If you can't do a sing along at the weekend, then when can you do it? Really,
that's it. There's not a lot of opportunities for crowd participation in Marillion songs, is there? Really? So you've got to take your moment.
Yeah, not so much in the recent stuff. The last 2 or 3 albums, it's the early albums that really got the sing along stuff on them. Yeah.
Maybe there's some absolute corkers. I mean, 3 Minute Boy always brings the house down.
Yeah,
as a sing along. Yeah.
And
that needs back in the set.
It was.
It was.
I said it nearly was.
Oh, was it? Okay. And then Encore 2 was Marbles 4 and Neverland.
You can never go wrong with Neverland, can you?
No. Great way to end the night. Really good.
There was a time about 7, 8 years ago or something when they were playing it all the time, and I was beginning to get a bit bored of it, and then the band dropped it for a few years.
Yeah.
Which I was grateful for, but then when it came back again, I missed it.
For me, it was sort of not having seen them for a long, long time, and I was waiting for Neverland, and it did its job. Absolutely destroyed me.
In a good way.
In a good way.
No, we saw him just after it, Lucy. He was fine. He was smiling after it. It's okay. It says here that Waiting to Happen was listed on the set list. It says Sugar Mice. Don't know if that's true.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. There we go.
They changed their minds at the last minute.
Yeah. What did you make of Jens's lighting? So we didn't have the screens, as we're not having them at these weekends. But I thought, because he lit the room, didn't he? There was a lot of stuff happening on the ceiling, and there were lights in front of the stage sort of coming out as well. I thought the lighting was incredible.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, I mean, I loved the screens when they did them. I mean, it was kind of necessary for the Fear tour, I think. But I don't miss them now. The lights are so amazing. No lasers on the first night, though.
Yeah, we decided to give the screens a rest because otherwise we would have felt obliged to come up with new content, and that takes time and costs money.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you play films, they become old if people don't sort of forget about them. You have to, like Out of This World, you know, Mark Kennedy's actually going to redo it at some point because it's kind of been done now. Obviously, for those of you who are at PZ, we've already redone The Invisible Man, so that'll be ready for the future. But you know, I'm very aware of, it's that video again, you know, and so you have to sort of, so that's why we said, let's not do the screens, let's do an amazing light show and give Jens more money for lights. So we did.
Yeah, I mean, it worked really, really well. It's similar because we did the similar thing back on the Somewhere Else tour, where it went back and ditched the screens on that tour, and it worked, worked brilliantly then. It's worked brilliantly this time.
Good.
Is it actually, you've reminded me of the Port Zealand film at the beginning of it. That was incredible. Is there no way that can be projected onto a sheet or something at the beginning of these?
No, because So Ian, I think Ian said the same thing, and I said, "You can't just have a sheet; it has to hang on something, so you drop it."
Well, of course, you could hold the sheet. You could just
tiny little sheet at the front of the stage.
just wander on. Yeah,
a big towel or something.
We're not having all the trussing and stuff. It's really expensive.
Okay. Well, the folks will just have to take our word for it until the DVD, the Blu-ray comes out. But it looked fantastic. We mentioned it in a previous episode. Anything else you want to say about the first night, guys?
Loved it. Again, two of my favourite albums, and a couple of favourite songs in there as well, with Man of a Thousand Faces and Sugar Mice. So I was happy.
Yeah,
I was similar to yourself, John. It was so good. It just went in the click of a thumb and finger. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was one of those gigs where it was. I know it's not, and it sounds really bad, but it looked effortless. Like Rodders and everyone just seemed to be like having a good time and just playing those complicated songs like they were just like going down the shop. It was just amazing. And then I think that's the beauty of it, isn't it? How brilliant they are. I think we can get away with that on the Marillion podcast.
Yeah, it just did what I wanted it to do. We were celebrating our band playing some of the best stuff they've ever done in a fantastic venue with lots of like-minded people. Everywhere you went in the city, you met somebody that you knew or that you recognized. There's no downside to any of it. It was brilliant.
Good.
Just joy. Yeah.
And some of the pubs in Leicester, the Loaded Dog had really sort of they'd advertised in advance and they put things on.
Yeah, they'd all sort of got into the spirit of it as well, hadn't they?
Yeah. I mean, we were in there on a Friday afternoon, and one of the bar staff came up and said, "So you go to see the same band a couple of times this week?" Yeah. And it's all on the one ticket. Yeah, it is. Yeah, he couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and all the tribute bands as well.
Yeah. On to the Sunday then. Sorry. Lucy's Q&A.
Which was a good laugh.
Really good fun.
Thank you.
Well, it was.
It
always is.
I know some people didn't enjoy it.
Don't rise to it, Lucy.
No, I know. But the thing is, I understand, that you maybe want me to ask serious questions and stuff, but
can't
I do that? Yeah, can't I do that on the YouTube channel or whatever? When you're there, it's kind of like supposed to be light-hearted, a bit of fun, and silly questions like, what tree would you be? Not so what I'm going to ask a po-faced prog question, and I would like to know what guitar strings you use for this song and blah 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 blah. And
it's not.
I appreciate people want to know that, and that's great. But let me ask it at another time. And I did a Facebook Live in the afternoon from the stage, which is still available on my page at the moment. And I walked everyone round the stage and gave close-ups of all their equipment and all the really techie, nerdy stuff that I know people enjoy. But for me, and thank you for saying it, and hopefully the majority of people, just a bit of light-hearted fun because the band have all got a wicked sense of humour.
Yeah.
And I like people to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to see some of their character, don't we? And we don't necessarily hear that just through the music, especially from Ian and Mark at the back.
Definitely. And Ian has got a wicked sense of humour.
What people don't appreciate as well, because having read the comments, I thought it's always brilliant. I love it. Having done gigs myself, it's 45 minutes for a gig. I think they're incredible to be on that stage and answering those questions, because I know when I'm 45 minutes before doing a gig, and Craig's seen me live before playing with David Ford.
I've seen you live with David.
I know you have. Sorry, John. I just want to be left alone to remember the songs and try and get in the headspace and all those kind of things. So,
but they said, they say to me that they enjoy it too, that they, they get to sort of feel the audience, because I tried to explain, they can't really see the audience. They can feel it when they're on stage. They can't actually see much. so they can actually see people and sort of hear them and interact, and so they enjoy it. And I try to make all of them different, and do different things. But this year, last time I did the audience within every single country, and the ones where people were more less English. Gosh, what's wrong? I can't speak. Do you know what I mean? The majority
where English wasn't their first language.
Thank you. I can't speak. I'm sorry. Where English wasn't their first language, were hard work. And I came up with all different things, but I had video screens to play with, so I could use visuals of here's H when he was a baby, and get them to guess which member of the band it was, and things where I could play with the audience. But because I knew I wouldn't have video screens this time, I thought I best just just talk it and just do it in the English speaking places. So I did it in Leicester, Montreal, and PZ. I know not everyone in PZ speaks English, but I have to do it there. So that was the thinking. So I'm sorry for the other Marillion weekends where we couldn't do it, because I know some people enjoy it.
But it's on YouTube today, so
it's on YouTube. Yes, so if you want to watch it, hop along to our channel, have a look. It's a bit silliness. Sorry about the Americans getting booed, but the English and the Scots got booed as well. So it's all good natured banter.
It is.
Yes, exactly.
It is. Okay. Well, after that, we got the Sunday night gig, which is kind of, again, a bit like the Saturday. The sets moved on a little bit. It was originally sort of loosely based on the Season's End tour set list, and it's morphed a little bit more, I think, towards the end. But great start with Slange. Took a few people by surprise if you weren't at one of the previous weekends, I think.
Love it. One of my favourite Fish Era songs.
Such a great opener, isn't it?
It is.
I want them to do that at every gig ever. What an opener. What an opener. I loved it.
I think when I saw them in '87 at Wembley, that was their opener.
Yeah, well, this is what it's supposed to be, copying.
Yeah.
It was originally copying that set list. It was going to be note for note that set list, but it evolved over time. But it was near as damn it. So yeah, to start with Slange, get in.
Yeah, it segues really well from the La Gazza Ladra as well. If you ever play that ever again, Rossini, which they used to do in the old days, but they used to go from that into Slange of Yarn. It's amazing segue.
And then the Cricket Bat came out again. It was 1990 all over again.
We were young.
Yeah, it was great. H was having fun with it again, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, he always seems to have a big smile on his face when he's got the cricket bat.
Because he could do some damage with it, I think.
He can do some damage with it. Yeah, apart from damaging the old gloves.
And he really enjoys that cuckoo at the end, doesn't he?
He does.
He drags it out.
Milking it.
And then Easter, seldom played.
Seldom sang.
I think I heard that one. I think I've heard that once before, that song somewhere.
Oh yeah,
well, once or twice.
Yeah. Oh, but you say that, you Brits. Honestly, John will stick up for me here that in like Padua, where people see the band less, Easter goes down like it was #1 for 20 weeks. Yeah. It's just unbelievable response.
Yeah,
it is really good.
I mean, it's that Rotary solo, isn't it? It needs to be there. It needs to be in the set.
Yeah, my cousin, we saw the Brave tour together. That was the first time we saw a Marillion gig together. And then I think the next one was Happiness Road. He's never seen Marillion do a lot of those songs like we're all kind of used to. And yeah, he's blown away, and that it was impeccable. All of them playing that song on Sunday it was just a brilliant version of a brilliant song.
Yeah,
smashed him.
Lovely.
Yeah, amazing crowd sing along on that one.
Wasn't it?
It was really loud where I was at the front.
Always goes down very well on H's solo tour as well.
Yeah. Into Beautiful next.
An amazing song. Love the lyrics to that.
Yeah.
And then we were back at Steve, about your 15th version of Script for Jester's Tale that weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I heard it a few times. Marquee Square Heroes didn't play it at all. They didn't play anything off Misplaced Childhood.
Right.
They're saving it for the actual 40th anniversary in a couple of months' time, I think.
Script isn't on Misplaced Childhood.
So is that what Jester's Tale?
Lucy with the knowledge there, look.
Why on earth did I say that? Misplaced Childhood. They didn't play Misplaced Childhood at all.
No, they didn't. No, but did they play Script?
They did, yes.
So how did we rank in the tribute acts of Script for Jester's Tale then?
The audience was really good on all of them.
Nice cop out, Steve. I like it.
Yeah, but obviously the band played it fantastically. Considering they probably don't really play it that often, do they?
No, I loved the lighting that Jens organised for H to stand on the rostrum with just the spotlight on him and everything goes silent. So here I am once more.
Yeah.
My God!
Yeah.
Now that made the hairs on my arse stand up. Is that the tagline?
Yeah, that's the one.
Can't remember the tagline. I think that was it. Yeah, I loved that.
Is that going to be the name of the episode, John?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for Timmy H singing it is brilliant. I think, and he's that was another one of the moments that really made me think he's really going for this. He's really singing it full voice. You know.
Is that the first time since Wolves or not? Like, I know they've probably done it this weekends, but
yeah, it did in PZ. But yeah, it's been about 12 years or something.
Yeah,
I didn't think he was ever going to sing it again, and it was his idea to sing it on the tour. He didn't. I sent them all the set list when they were talking about wanting to replicate the Season's End set list. I sent them all an old one, and I thought he'd look at it and just veto that. And he said, "Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, let's do it." Shocker!
Yeah. And then a cracking version of Season's End.
Yeah, that got put in for Leicester. They hadn't played that at the others. They were just like, let's put that in.
Oh, nice.
Can't remember the reasoning. Sounded gorgeous.
It did. Don't need a reason for me. And then the hits. We got the hits.
Kaylee.
Right in the middle of the set as well.
I sent a video to all my mates because they've only got one song, haven't they? It's all in good nature. It's all they all love me and it's all in good nature. But like, there you go. They did it for you. They did do it.
And Craig was happy because Blue Angel was there.
Yeah, you've got to have a bit of Lavender Blue Angel on the end. Come on.
From there, we went into the space. No let up for H's voice at all, was it?
No.
Oh my God, he hit those notes.
He did, didn't he? He did.
Oh, hello.
Blew it away.
Phenomenal.
But you didn't mention Heart Lothian and the place going crazy and being really, really loud. And then into space.
Well, all right, yeah.
Yeah,
the space is absolutely epic though, isn't it? Really.
I've always loved that song. Since I were a mere fan.
It gets better though, doesn't it? I don't think it's aged at all.
No, it's just lovely. It's lovely. The lyrics lovely. Just everything's. It's lovely. It's lovely, except as you say, if it's on the third night and H's voice is gone.
Yeah.
Which is why we don't do third nights anymore.
No. Yeah. I mean, it's the first H moment on a Marillion album. The end of the space for me. There's been lots, but it's the first one. Speaking of which, Afraid of Sunlight next.
Lovely.
One of my favourite songs.
From one of your favourite albums.
Oh yeah. Come on. Between Afraid of Sunlight and The Great Escape are two of my top favorites.
I was going to say you could have written this set list, couldn't you?
Oh yes. Yeah. These two nights I could have easily written the set list.
Well, the whole thing's full of crowd pleasers, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
On the second night, it really is.
Yeah.
Well, from Afraid of Sunlight into Wave, Mad, and then into Great Escape. I mean, can't go wrong with a bit of Brave, can you?
Oh my God. Sorry, it's all about me. I'd pop down to the Phil sound thing, and I was standing next to Phil, and the drums started, and I was like, I got a moment, the hair back of my ass, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, that's my husband. When he does boom, 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 the whole sound in that room was amazing, and I was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and I loved it.
I'm with you. He's not my husband, but I'm with you. It's great. Anything from Brave does it for me. Brilliant. Great way to end the set. I think Great Escape as well.
Yeah.
And then the first encore was The New Kings.
Shut it.
Shut what?
Well, I love
it. What do you want?
What?
You don't like it, John.
I don't like it. You're absolutely right. And I didn't watch it. Went to the toilet.
What?
Wow.
Went to the toilet.
That's a long toilet.
And the bar, and then I came back.
I love it.
Yeah. I love it sometimes and I don't like it other times, but I'm really loving it on these conventions. It just fits perfectly in the set. But in other sets, I've gone, that's a waste of 17 minutes or whatever it is. But I've been loving it at these conventions.
It's just long enough for a leisurely walk to the toilet at De Montfort and then back round to the bar and then back upstairs.
I couldn't possibly comment.
He was with me, so he can't comment. He didn't watch it either.
Comment. God. Do you know what? With that song, I think there's times where it just works. And I mean, time in history. And I think just right now, that song works.
It's very present.
I think that's people were asking us why is it in the set, and that was my reason. What I thought, that it's really pertinent at the moment.
Yeah, even more now than it was when it first came out. I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
See, even more now. I mean, I absolutely live for that Spitfire.
Yes. Well, we've gone back upstairs in time for the Spitfire. We could hear that.
The other bit I like is I don't know, it's about 70-80% of the way through. They go from, I think it's 3/4 time into 4/4 time, and it's a really, really difficult transition. And I've heard them get it wrong a couple of times, and it's a complete car crash when that happens. But I can see them all looking at each other like, we're going to get it this time. We're going to get it, and they do. Yeah.
Gary's just grinning knowingly, and he's the other musician on the pod. So
I'm playing a gig tomorrow night, and it's a party, so it's just all 4/4 drumming. So
you're all right.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll be all right.
But you see,
from a performance point of view, I think that H is that like his imperious best on stage,
Yeah.
Generally, or in that song, or
in that song,
right? Yeah.
Getting angry.
Yeah.
I'll trade you for next song any day, though.
Which was
Crow of the Nightingale.
Oh, it was so pretty.
It's amazing.
I wish
that makes me
though. It was beautiful with the choir.
Yeah, that's the only thing we missed, really, but it's still on its own. Fantastic.
Yeah, we saw the choir in PZ though. So
we did, but
don't feel too shortchanged.
No, but these guys
were at school.
Yeah, Gary was at school. Stuart wasn't there,
I'm not that. Right. I always look up. Do you know, John? When because I was downstairs and you're up top.
Yeah.
I'd look around, see where you were, just to see if I could see you crying.
You'd have to have good eyesight from down there. So
I know, but I know what it means to you. So
it does. I can't explain it. It's the bit where it goes from H singing into that Rothery solo. I know it's coming, and that's probably the hairs on my ass going at that point. Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then we got the big finish, didn't we, with Angels on Earth, Section of Care, and One Tonight from the Levers.
Yeah, the Angels is the one that just destroyed me.
Did it?
I love her like a little child every single time I hear that song, whether it's live, whether it's on the studio album. It just destroys me.
I'm petitioning though for the whole of Care to come back into the set as soon as we can, because they can't do it in this convention season because they haven't obviously rehearsed it and it's long, but it's my favourite song. So
yeah, it didn't have the same. It didn't. I've been the same as John. Yeah, it's kind of just emotional. Overload. But I think with the beginning bit, well, the first 10 minutes, it's without that, it wasn't as powerful for me. But that's just me.
Yeah. Without the build up, I mean, you're right, but you can't fit all those long songs in.
No,
too much.
No, but I do.
You can always take New Kings out. And,
all Rangers now.
The choir do add something back into it though, even though it's not got the first parts to it. When the choir did it at PZ and also at Adwa.
Yeah, flowing chords were brilliant.
Yeah,
and this is no slight on flowing chords, but I would love to see it done with Choir Noir. I don't think that will ever happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was a great way. And the confetti cannons are out again, Lucy.
Best confetti cannons we've had in a long time.
Lasted a long time.
And I was down at the front for the confetti with George and everyone. Again, I popped in for the last 3 songs so I could experience the confetti, because you can't beat the confetti. And it was obviously the beginning of the levers was a bit dodgy. I went up afterwards. I said to Mark, "Was that your fault or H's?" And he said, "A bit of both." But no, I mean, I don't care that, because they pulled it back together, and it's a beautiful way to end.
Yeah.
And we haven't been able to have confetti for the last couple because they wouldn't let us. They either wouldn't let us, or they wanted 10 grand for the cleanup fee or something. So it was like, no. Whereas Leicester are like, no, we'll get the brooms out. It's fine. They had the leaf blowers.
I'm going to say there's a woman going around with a leaf blower blowing the red hearts about.
Bloody fantastic.
It's an amazing shot.
Yeah. So no, I always love the confetti. We're not having any in Oslo because it was too expensive. I think there might be some in Berlin, but I can't remember. So don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Gotta love confetti.
Overall, how was the Leicester weekend for you guys? I'm going to go around you all individually, and we'll finish with the boss.
What, Craig?
No, Craig, not the boss. Let's get on to that.
Not the boss. To think you are, John, but Craig's the boss.
Yeah, we'll discuss that offline. Yes. Steve, what did you make of the weekend?
Well, after seeing 10 acts, if you include the Cutting Crew and the Meatloaf tribute, all I said, my feet hurt.
Okay.
But it was an amazing weekend. I mean, absolutely packed full of music, packed full of the best music as well, the old and new.
Brilliant.
Loved it.
Stuart?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. It was everything I wanted it to be, basically. And yeah, I mean, the band were incredible, and everything else around it was. Yeah. No words. I'll try again.
Good. John?
There's not a lot more I can add to what anybody else has already said. The set list for night 2, just wow, phenomenal. Yeah.
We haven't alluded to the fact that you being at all these weekends is the reason why your wedding keeps getting pushed back, have we?
Yeah. I was wondering if this would get mentioned.
Well,
you knew he was going to set you up. He threatened to set you up.
He certainly did. Yeah.
John and Catherine were going to get married this year, but they're doing a few Marillion weekends instead.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah. We've got Berlin and Utrecht as well.
You should have told me. We could have got H to marry you on stage in Leicester. We would have done that.
Well, I think John mentioned that.
Well, I mentioned that Mark and Vanessa got married by H.
Yeah, we would have done that. Where's your sense of adventure? Come on.
Yeah, well, no, the other alternative was that your future missus did say, "Why not get married on the podcast?"
Yeah.
She's told me about that as well. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're up for it.
We get him on here. He'd come on here, won't he, Lucy, with you?
Yeah. marry someone live on a podcast. I'm sure it's legal. We can do it.
I'll be a first.
Gary, follow that. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was brilliant. As I've alluded to before, my cousin came for the first time. So we grew up together, and for me, for a long time, Marillion's been a solitary thing. I've gone to gigs on my own because none of my friends like them. My wife isn't that keen. But obviously I know you guys now. But just for Roger to be there and having explained what a weekend was like, for him to witness it and just to be joyful was perfect, really. It was a perfect weekend for us after our team won the FA Cup a week before. But I won't talk about football. But it was just, yeah, he had the best time. So thank you,
Brilliant
band, and thank you, Lucy.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Craig, how was it for you?
It was probably the first time in my entire life where I got called Faye more than I got called Craig. But I thought it was great. I thought the social aspect was brilliant because you got to meet a load of new people. Shout out to Craig and the guys who were talking to all weekend, and loads of other folk who came across, said hello and stuff. Gigs were absolutely fantastic, and we were quite good. You know, we didn't stay up too late. It wasn't like 3 o'clock in the morning kind of stuff like it was at PZ. But yeah, just a shame it's the last one for me for this year. So boo hiss and all that.
Well, we do want to thank the folks that came for the Planet Marzipan get together and the big photo that we had on the stairs.
Because Lucy didn't do your one this year.
No.
It was raining and I refused to stand out in the rain and get my hair wet.
Thank you to those of you that came. We got a fantastic photo, which is in the Facebook group. If you've not seen it, we did invite you.
You did not. I did not know about it.
You were too busy at the after show. It was at the same time.
I was never too busy. I was in the bar.
I'm not falling out with you. Lucy, how was your weekend?
It was great, apart from the fact I wasn't invited to the meet up. Like ruined the whole thing for me. No, it was really lovely. Really, really enjoyed it. Didn't enjoy the fact that I let Ian join the Marillion Weekend UK Facebook group because I thought it was safe, and then someone started a thread and that was pretty negative, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I get that, blah blah blah. But Ian read it and was, you know, it is that thing. You do it, I do it. You probably do it as well. You know, 2,000 people can go, it was the best thing ever, and one person goes, it was shit and I hated it, and that's the person you focus on, and you can't help that. So I would just like to say again on this podcast, please remember that the band can read what you write, and you're entitled to say you didn't enjoy it, but could you please choose your words, guys? Choose your words and think that there's a person that's reading that, and that, so choose your words in how you say you didn't enjoy it, because, you know, we're all real people. So anyway, apart from that, I thought it was absolutely brilliant, and the amount of happy, joyous, smiling faces. I always say this, but it makes me so proud to work for this band, because the world and everything in it, it's shit, quite frankly, and we know that, and it's just lovely that we can all go and be hidden for a couple of days and find our own joy, and just see all these happy people who are not worrying about mortgages and not worrying about whether their house is going to get bombed, or you know everyone's just like, we just forget everything for 2 days. And it really felt like that at Leicester, that it was like, no, we're there, we're all wrapped up, and everyone's just determined to have the best time ever.
Yeah.
And we can feel that, you know, the band on the stage can feel that. I knew it the second the band walked out for Invisible Man. I went, fuck me, that's a fantastic audience, straight off the bat. And when the band came off the stage, they were buzzing. They were like, what a great audience, you know, and they were going, oh, we did this wrong and we did that wrong, and they were like, but it doesn't matter, because what a great audience, you know. And so thank you to you guys for, you know, giving that to them. You were great. Give yourselves a round of applause.
There you go.
So, John, did you enjoy yourself?
I had a brilliant weekend. It went by really quickly. 1 minute it was 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon in the pub, and the next thing it was Monday morning and we were driving home. It just went by so quickly. You can't describe it. I mean, those of us that were there and go to the weekends know what it is, and those that don't, it's so special. You've got to get involved.
There was quite a few newbies this time, and
wasn't there? Yeah,
really good time. You know, it was my first weekend, or even a few. It was my first Marillion gig, or my first time seeing Marillion in 30 years and stuff. I read so many of them, and that's just fabulous that everyone had such a good time.
Yeah, not to end on a down note. Going from that to what happened in Liverpool on Monday night was such a shock.
Horrid, yeah, horrific.
Yeah, and all our thoughts and prayers go out to Liverpool and the people of Liverpool that were there.
Yeah,
I saw a few Liverpool shirts.
Well, yeah, one of our merch guys and Jens went up to the parade from Leicester, so we had 2 of our lot there.
It just, to me, shows that we have to value this as much as we can because it's special. It's not like anything else. So thank you, Lucy, and thank you to everybody that was involved in it.
Pleasure.
The band and everything. And we'll be there again if you do it again.
It's already booked. I've already got the whole booked.
Yay!
Well, next year.
No, 27.
Nice try, Steve.
We can wish.
Next year you'll have a tour. Next year you'll have a UK.
Oh yeah, new album. Yeah, won't it?
New album, UK tour.
Oh, that's something we didn't really mention, is it? How positive the guys were about wrapping the album up.
Oh, they're bored of me shouting at them now. They're going to do it just to shut me up.
Okay. Well, look, we've talked a lot about the weekend. It was fantastic. If you were there, and if not, I hope we've given you some sort of a taster for what it was like. All that remains to be said is thank you very much to Steve Guttridge.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, John Farrand.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thank you, Stuart Chandler.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary Page. He's all the rage.
Thank you very much.
Even when his arse hairs are stood up.
Yeah. Get the underpants going, Lucy. Get the shorts going. It's going to be all the rage.
To the boss, Lucy.
Hey.
Yay.
Thank you, Tim. He thinks he's the boss, Craig.
He's the boss. Hey.
All that remains to be said is it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Take care.
Somebody want to do it?
Stay alive.
Hey.
Thanks for listening to Planet Marzipan Podcast. Please like and subscribe from whichever platform you get your podcasts from. You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com and check out marillion.com, fishmusic.scot for more